My next guest is turning a small act of defiance into a bid for public office. Remember this photo? About a year ago, Julie Briskman went for a bike ride in Sterling, Virginia, when she happened upon the president's motorcade leaving his nearby golf course. And that is when she decided to send him a message with her middle finger. She did not know, though, as she was doing this, that she would be photographed by a Getty photographer. And she certainly didn't know that the photo would get this much attention.
No one
swinging all
has summed up the mood of the country better than a cyclist who went viral last week for giving the president's motorcade the finger.
Maybe she was just saying you're number one. How do they know?
Here's a picture of her right here. Yeah, that's real. Well, we actually got our hands on a photo of that woman from a different angle. Take a look at this. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Days later, Briskman lost her job at a government contracting firm. She sued her company for wrongful termination, but the suit was dropped. And instead of filing appeal, she has filed a form to run for public office. Julie Briskman is with me now. Julie, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today, Brooke. I appreciate it.
You got it. So here you have the news. You're now running for a seat on the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors in Virginia. I want you to tell me, what was your final straw, in your world that made you say, that's it, I'm running?
Well, I think I became motivated to affect change the moment that I was fired. I got really motivated. The first thing I did was sign up to volunteer at the polls the next week at the 2017 election. I got very involved in the Loudoun County Democratic Party. I've been working for Jennifer Wexton since the primaries, trying to flip that seat in Congress, a very important seat to flip. And as you said, the suit was dropped. I actually decided not to appeal the dismissal of my wrongful termination count in that case. To run for office. And it just came down to a decision for me, where can I be most effective? Can I be more effective fighting through unfriendly courts on one issue, which is wrongful termination, violating my First Amendment rights, or can I be more effective sitting on the county board? And all change is local, and we need to change things locally before we can change things state and federally.
Sure. And by the way, I want to point out, we actually reached out to your former employer just for some sort of comment. Didn't hear back. But I did want to ask you, as a mom of two teenagers, there are a lot of Trump critics out there who blast the president, his language. They say he acts like a fifth grader. And Julie, aren't you adding to that discourse that you've blasted Trump for?
Well, here's the thing. That day I was frustrated. I was really frustrated. I mean, three-fourths of Puerto Rico didn't have power. He was dismantling the ACA from the inside out. He had just announced that he was going to rescind DACA. So I was very frustrated that day. And the only thing I had at my disposal that day was my finger. But, I've been living in Loudoun County for more than 20 years. And like I said, I think that I can affect change on a broader scale sitting on the seat of the Board of Supervisors. The discourse in our country has become vitriolic, and I was frustrated that day. Now, when I'm protesting the president, I don't use my finger. I actually have time to make signs and make a more clear argument as to why that I dissent against this administration.
I've read all these, interviews you've done, and I know over and over you were asked, well, do you have any regrets? And you always say no. And I'm just wondering, since now you are in the public eye running for office, what if somebody gave you the bird? How would you feel about that?
That's a really good question. I really giving I guess what I want to say is, let the person who's never given somebody the bird in bad traffic throw the first stone, first of all. I really don't think that giving someone the bird's that bad. If somebody wanted to give me the bird or have a conversation about an opposing view, I'm happy to do that.
Maybe the conversation would be better than the bird, but
I think it would be.
Julie Briskman, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.